don't we go ahead and get started? Aaron, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Okay, so we're back in session. Everyone's the bills are being introduced. The senators co-authored a couple of COVID relief bills. SB 74 to create a grant program for small businesses. He also co-authored AB 74 with Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez to require the EDD to provide a direct deposit option. If you've been following the news lately, you'll know that the Bank of America is the contractor, so everybody who gets an EDD gets a contract card from Bank of America. And there's been some issues with that regarding this new fraudulent thing, and then there's a lot of costs involved with having them as the processor. And then we're also looking at a couple of bills that would limit the time that a state of emergency can be done to 60 days. That way, that has to come back and get renewed every single time. And then he's also working to put together a so that the kids can go back in the classroom. He's also his specific legislation right now. He's introduced a bill for porch piracy with the increase of people using Amazon.com. This has become a problem. Basically, if someone gets caught stealing a package, there's very little, it's a misdemeanor. And there's very little incentive to deter people from doing that more. So he put together a bill that would cause it would make it so that if you get caught, it would make it from a low misdemeanor to a high misdemeanor, and then if you get caught 3 times, then you're going to be charged with a felony. It's kind of increase that. Then I'm sure Rourke will touch base on this also. We're having a lot of calls. We're continuing to having a lot of calls with the EDD issues. If you know anyone that is having that problem, go ahead and have them reach out to us, and we're working through that right now as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, with a lot of those cases that are pending, the EDD has came out and said that they're basically working as fast as they can to solve their backlog, and so they're asking for everyone to be patient. But kind of the problems that it's having is, you know, that it is. I hate to use the phrase "it is what it is," but at this point, it is what it is. And we'll be I'll put my contact information in the chat, and if there's anything that you guys need from us, or if you want to make comments on any legislation that's coming up, please feel free to reach out.
Thanks, Aaron.
Right.
Okay, from Assemblymember Waldron's office, Rourke, you're up.
Thanks so much, Rick. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone's faces again this morning. As Aaron mentioned, the legislative session is back in session as of January 11th. So Marie is hard at work in Sacramento reviewing hundreds and hundreds of bills that are coming across her desk. The bill introduction deadline is on February 19th, so we are almost there. So if you do have any last minute bill ideas you're interested in getting entertained, please feel free to send them my way. I'll forward them over to our legislative director in Sacramento. As I'm sure you've all heard, the governor has lifted the statewide stay-at-home order for every region in our state. Based on ICU projections for the next several weeks. This allows for outdoor dining at restaurants, etc. As you guys are no doubt well aware. Unfortunately, the damage on our small businesses is already done, as you also know. That's why the Assemblywoman is joining Senator Brian Jones in co-authoring the Keep California Working Act, as SB 74, which Aaron briefly mentioned. So this bill would invest $2.6 billion, which is about 10% of California's projected budget surplus, into grants for small businesses and employees who have suffered financial loss due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So this bill does include an urgency clause. So if it is passed through the legislature, and signed by the governor, it will take effect immediately. So we're hopeful for some very near near relief from that in the near future. Um, Also, Aaron mentioned the EDD issues, and this continues to be a huge issue for our office and for workers across the state. We've helped thousands and thousands of constituents who have had trouble getting their unemployment insurance benefits, and this is due to a lot of issues at EDD, a lot of inefficiencies, and this is why the Assemblywoman, along with several other members of her caucus, has introduced a bill to address rampant abuse and inefficiencies at EDD. So the Assemblywoman's bill imposes deadlines on EDD claims to ensure that claimants are given decisions on the outcome of their application in a timely manner. We've helped constituents who have applied last year and have waited 6+ months to get an answer from EDD on whether or not they're actually going to receive benefits. And we think this is really unacceptable. So this bill from the Assemblywoman would require EDD to make a unemployment insurance eligibility determination within 30 days of the receipt of a claim. And this will include increased funding or staffing as necessary, and that'll be determined by the Office of the Budget Analyst. So we're excited to see that bill going forward as well, and hope that along with some of the other EDD reform bills that our caucus has put forward will help California workers get the benefits that they so richly deserve during this difficult time.
Thanks, Rourke. Appreciate it. County report, Candace Yee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to kind of talk about the grants like Rourke mentioned. This past Tuesday, the Board of Supervisors passed another round of stimulus dollars. We don't quite have the money yet, but we're waiting. We pretty much anticipate it to come shortly, hopefully. That's going to be a total of $30 million. So that's $6 million for each district to be able to distribute. And if you're not familiar with the stimulus grant, these are the CARES Act dollars from the federal government, which passes through the state, and then the Board of Supervisors and each district gets to allocate money to small businesses. So the only difference this time around, last time I know that it was limited to 100 employees or less. This time it's going to be 20 employees or less for each business. So that's kind of the big change, with that grant program. Last time we got, I think it was about 1,600 applications. And the majority, I'd say maybe about 70% of those were from small businesses that were under that 20 count and under. So we're finding that a lot of the businesses are applying that are less than 20 employees. So hopefully it'll continue to help a lot of these small businesses out. And like I said, we don't know when that's going to come, but we're anticipating that it'll come pretty soon. Another thing that happened on Tuesday at the board meeting was, there was a lot of talk with the vaccines and pushing for our law enforcement to become a priority. Supervisor Desmond, absolutely supports law enforcement and as well as teachers. And he felt that, it should have been a priority that they kind of move up in the line, they be vaccinated. Unfortunately, the other supervisors didn't feel the same way. It was Supervisor Desmond and Supervisor Anderson that both voted for law enforcement and teachers to become a priority, but it didn't pass, unfortunately. But he'll, continue to make his voice heard, and we'll see what happens with that. he's still continuing to push for the opening of youth sports as much as he can. And then one more thing, I know that we've been kind of getting a lot of calls about vaccines and the second dose. 211 now has a contract with the county. And what we're going to do, we have a website where you can go to through 211. And if your appointment for the second dose is coming up soon and you haven't heard back from your provider or the county, there's a form that you can fill out and they'll get back to people within, I think it's 5 days or so. Pretty short turnaround so that you can get that second dose on time. And I will, I'll leave the website in the chat so that you guys can write it down. And I think that's it.
Thanks, Candace, and thanks
You're welcome.
to your team and Supervisor Desmond for everything you guys continue to do to help the small businesses, certainly leading the charge on that. I do have a question on that next round of the stimulus grant, because this question came up from some members last time, because you didn't, if you applied originally and received grant dollars, you didn't have to apply, you didn't have to reapply in the second round. Is that going to be the same way this time?
I'm pretty sure it is. They haven't kind of outlined the details of that, but we have a system that we go through and all of the applications that we had from the last time, they're all still in there. So I'm assuming same thing as last time, we'll be revisiting old applications that are currently already there.
Okay, and thanks too for all the information that you guys are sending out, because we're able to keep updating our COVID resource page on our website with the links, and then also with those weekly updates, be able to put that in our newsletter. So, and that's just a reminder for everybody else too, just if whenever there's information that we can get out in our newsletter, that's what it's there for. So we like doing that.
I'll let Miles know. He's been great with the media and the social media. So
yeah, and it's been, I know from the very beginning, and it's still that way. There's just so much information that we get flooded with that it's just important. My take on it has always been take a breath, make sure it's accurate, and get it out there. And then so it's been, so we've seen that everything that comes from the county has been very, it's been a great resource for our members, and I've gotten great feedback about that as well.
That's awesome to hear.
Okay, let's see. Tess, report from the city.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Tess Sangster, Economic Development Director for the City of San Marcos. A few things, we're obviously tracking legislation, anxious to see if there's any more bills that come out before the 19th. We have housing and sustainability and COVID relief on our kind of docket of what we're watching and tracking for legislation. A few other things that are happening in the community. We have a slurry seal that's going to be affecting a pretty large part of our community from basically the Carlsbad border at Santa Leo Road all the way to the 78 when it turns into Twin Oaks Valley. So that'll be from February 16th all the way through June. Hopefully, it's just a slurry seal, so we're not ripping up the asphalt, but it will definitely impact traffic as we do that work. So if any questions, let me know. We put a news alert out on Tuesday. Also, we are building, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, our Giant Creek construction project, and we are going to be building a new park as part of that. And so we're actually looking for names right now. If anyone is good at naming things, it's a fun way to get involved. Through March 10th, we're taking new names for the park. And then Innovate 78, I think I've talked about that group. It's a collaboration of the 5 cities along the 78 corridor. We're releasing a manufacturing study on the 25th of February to talk about the economic impact of manufacturing in North County. So if anyone's interested, I'll put my information in the chat. I'd love to invite you. It's a virtual event. And then I did see, and maybe Rick, you were going to mention this, that the Gary and Mary West PACE Foundation is now offering vaccines for 65 plus. You can call 211 if you don't want to navigate the online system. I think that came out yesterday, which is an exciting resource for our San Marcos community and the broader community. And then one other thing, the COVID-19 rental assistance program. We had about $1 million in that fund, and we still have about $700,000 for San Marcos residents to take advantage of. It's $10,000 per household. So anyone interested in that, I'll put my info in the chat. So
I know that street project's gonna turn my 10-minute commute into about a 15-minute commute, so I'll have to rough it. But it's it's
sorry,
needed.
Rick.
It's needed, so I'm glad you guys are doing that. Okay, San Diego County Water Authority, Christine Antoine.
Thanks, Rick. Good morning, everyone. I only had one update this morning. We are, and it's pretty timely. We're trying to co-sponsor a bill with Sweetwater Authority, which is one of our members. But at this particular moment, we're not sure if we're going to pursue the legislation or try and go for a direct budget line item. This is for direct COVID financial relief, basically to help the ratepayers, which includes all of us, that have been hit hard by COVID. There's been a few articles in the news lately. I don't know if you all have seen them, but delinquency on water bills is huge right now, huge. Some folks, are juggling between paying their water bills and food. And just as an example, one of our members, Sweetwater, which is a national city, I believe I think the figure that I last heard is 20% of their residents are behind on their water bills. And so this is a huge issue. So we're pursuing some state funding as well as federal relief. So as soon as we figure out, if that's going to be through a budget item or a piece of legislation, we'll let you know. So just, share that with folks that there is some relief coming, because I know that some agencies are going through to some extreme lengths to collect their funds, including liens and all kinds of things. So it's a huge issue.
Okay, go to Sheriff's Department, Michelle Craig.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We've been doing good here, very busy with calls and trying to reach out to the community during COVID, which has been a very long time dealing with it, as you all know. We just wanted to let you know, and your business owners know, that if they're having any issues with any type of security issues, we do have what's called a CPTED, which is crime prevention through environmental design. And we have staff here that are trained on how to do basically site security assessments of businesses and even residents to try and make improvements to lessen themselves to be victims of crimes. So if anyone is interested, please call the San Marcos Sheriff Station and we can set up an appointment to try and come out and evaluate your property to give suggestions on things that you can do to improve those things. Also, Wednesday, March 3rd, we have the San Diego Blood Bank coming to our station to do a blood drive from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if anyone wants to go to the San Diego Blood Bank website and sign up, that would be great. We're trying to bring that here and allow not only our staff, but other people to donate in this area. So I don't think I have anything else. Is there any questions I can answer?
I was just going to say, I don't have a question, Michelle, but I do want to give the Sheriff's Department a shout out. We had a couple suicide threats come through our office last couple of weeks related to EDD, and had some deputies go out to those constituents' homes within hours to check on them. So shout out to the Sheriff's Department. Thank you guys for all your support during this difficult time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we try and jump on any of those types of threats because we need to figure out if they're a vague threat and not really anything behind it, or someone's just angry for a minute, or whether it's something that we need to look into seriously. So thank you for appreciating that, because we do pride ourselves on trying to get, especially on something that serious.
Michelle, I was going to ask if you have anything that you could send me with regards to the blood drive or the site security assessments I can get in our newsletter. I'd be happy to do that.
Great, thank you. Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Okay, Christine Lee, Cal State San Marcos.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just a few quick updates. Many of you on this call may know that Cal State San Marcos is home to a new COVID-19 vaccine superstation operated by the county. So it just opened on January 31st by appointment only. Appointments can be made on the county website, and I'll put that link in the chat. Also, you know, on the opposite end of campus by our Viasat Engineering Pavilion, we still have the COVID testing site. So lots of things COVID related on campus happening. That site I heard last week administers the most COVID tests in the county. So it's very, very busy. As an institution, I wanted to share that we are working hard and planning to strategize for repopulation, which we've had a few town hall meetings as a campus. We are having one for students as well to hear their concerns, and we are targeting for a fall 2021 repopulation. But it is very complex. I will say that. All the questions that are coming up from staff, faculty, and students, it's going to be a big endeavor, but I know that it can get done. We have not, the CSU has not mandated vaccines or required them as of yet, and I don't know if that's going to be you know, a requirement in the future. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I will keep this group updated to let you know, because I know the businesses in the area would love for the students, staff, and faculty to be back. Thank you.
Yes, we can't wait to see all those students back here. And congratulations on your event last week. The President Neufeld State of the Community was great. It was a great event, so congratulations on that. I know it's frustrating having to do them all virtually.
Yeah, it was our first virtual event, so we'll see if next year, we may have to do it again in next year. But and one thing I wanted to mention to all of you, we do have a new Dean of Extended Learning. So Rick, you have you know, you'll have a new neighbor dean nearby, and I will, I'm already in talks with him to provide an introduction to the two of you. So hopefully there
Great.
can be partnership.
Look forward to it. Thank you. And then that reminds me of one thing I wanted to mention from Chamber's perspective is that our State of the City this year that we partner with the mayor and the city with is going to be on May 19th. It'll be done virtually. So we're going to, I know several of you, if not all of you, attend that. And, you know, just like Christine said, you know, it's hard to, you miss being able to do those luncheons and see everybody, but we're going to, it's going to be a nice event. We're going to pre-record it. We're going to have we're going to do a tribute to healthcare workers, and it'll be nice. And there's so many, as you guys know, there's so many amazing things going on in the city right now, and just and it's so uplifting to see the growth in this time of stagnation that that's going on here. And I'm sure the mayor will be thrilled to be able to report all those great things that are happening in San Marcos, because we need those good news things. So I appreciate you guys getting up early and doing this. Lucy joined us today too. Lucy's been a friend of the chamber for years, and we were talking earlier, I'm not sure everybody was on, but she's done a lot of photography for us. So Lucy, anything you want to say to the group before we sign off?
No, I'm really enjoying just hearing what's going on. From that, I can see how it would fit in with what pictures you might need or what kind of promotions. So thanks for letting me join.
You're always welcome, Lucy. And you know, that's what I want to let everybody else know too, that even though we don't get a lot of our members on this Zoom, we are able to record it. We do post it. We do get a lot of views. So it is, people are seeing all this information. It is it is just a wealth of information that's going on in our city, in our area. So I appreciate everything that you guys contribute and everything you guys are doing. So unless there's anything else, I think we'll call it early.
Thanks so much, Rick.
All right, thanks
Thanks, Rick.
everyone.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks,
Okay,
Rick.
have a great day.
See everyone.
Thanks, Rick. See you, everyone.